Very much, sir. May I now call upon Mr. Colin Gonsalves, Senior Advocate, to give a short vote of thanks.
Whenever you have to go, sir, we're ready to take. No problem. I give a vote of thanks. Yes. We are all so happy. We're all so happy to hear the kind and thoughtful words of the Chief Justice. And I am sure that what we've told him today will carry very far, because the Chief Justice has a long and illustrious career ahead of him. And I hope and I know in my heart that he will do many things as a judge for the disability sector and particularly the deaf. His words about the education sector, particularly poignant, particularly relevant. You know, in Delhi, for example, in the 3% disability, 3% reservation, the reservation for the deaf had been taken away virtually. And that 3% is now divided between the blind and the locomotor disabled. Why should that be? Why should they take away our 1% right in the educational institutions in Delhi? If in Delhi, in the premier institutions here, they take away our 1% reservation, what hope can we have for the rest of the country? Right? And so I want to say thank you once again to the Chief Justice for coming. There is a very, very big conference today in Delhi, where people are coming from all over the country and judges are coming from everywhere. And yet he has taken time to come here. Thank you very much, sir, and good luck in your future as the Chief Justice of the Punjab and Haryana High Court. Thank you very much. My speech is done.
I was told that your daughter is... my two children are also professionals. They also...
See more 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. You start right.
Yeah. Friends, just keep seated. Colin will just come back and we'll take the first session. Thanks. Just come instead of breaking. Just tell them. Just signal to them.
Like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll not we'll take it till like 10:30, no?
We'll do it, no?
No, because people are just coming in again and late before. By the time we get them back.
The schedule says tea right now.
Yeah.
But since you guys all came late, you have to stay here. You'll get tea later.
That's better.
Colin, you have to go very slow.
Yeah.
Rendu is going to come.
Okay.
You're going to be here.
I'll go slow.
Yeah.
Give me like 60 seconds. Give me 60 seconds.
No. Yeah.
Sit for 1 minute.
Yeah.
1 minute. Time it 1 minute and give me 1 minute. Set up the third camera. Set up the camera in the back. I will do this. One camera.
Okay.
This is a mixed shot. I want to do one pure camera shot. Which are being done. It takes 1 minute to set up. That's all.
But if you do it like this,
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, I can hear the sound is... Okay.
So now, after the Chief Justice has left, we will start with the session on the Constitution and how the Constitution can be used for deaf people. Arun Rao needs 60 seconds to set up his camera so that he can do independent sign language interpreting from that side. 60 seconds.
Your time starts.
We have half an hour for this session?
Yeah.
Half an hour, yeah. I want to tell all of you that in every session you can ask questions as many times as you want, so that it is not just speaking, but it's also questions and answers. And don't feel shy, you can put your hand up in the middle and ask a question. So please do that. Right from now, whole day today and the whole day tomorrow, the moment you feel you have to comment or ask questions, immediately put your hand up and do it. And particularly for my session, please put your hand up and say whatever has to be said. Right. We are probably the most affected of all the disability sectors. We are treated worse than the blind and worse than the locomotor disabled. And government just doesn't understand. How will a little child ever get education if there is no sign language interpreter? If I go to the airport, if I go to a hospital, if I go to a bank, if I go to the employment exchange, if I go to the vocational training centers, where is the sign language interpreter? And particularly with schools, how will we ever get education at this rate? I am doing a case now, Delhi University. You are supposed to have 3% reservation for teachers. There was a judge in the High Court who 10 years ago gave an order that you must have disabled teachers, disabled lecturers. Till today, there are so many colleges without a single disabled lecturer. And while doing that case, I found that 3% reservation, 1% is supposed to be for the deaf. They have cancelled that 1% and they have distributed it to the blind and locomotor. They have given it. And so when we saw the photograph of your demonstration outside the Chief Commissioner's office, where we locked his office. How many of you were there? Can you have your hands up? How many were there? All of you, when you locked the office? And also when you had your demonstration outside the Planning Commission, and the police came and tried to pull you all away. We will use the Constitution. That is correct. We will go to court. But deaf people will also fight on the streets. Isn't it? Do you agree? Because fighting for our rights, yes, fighting for our rights means we will fight on the streets. The Constitution is a very powerful tool. There are two clauses I want you to remember. Article 14 says, no discrimination, equal treatment. Please remember this clause, Article 14, the equality clause. And Article 21, the right to life. And life means, as a human being, with full opportunity, education, and so on. Now the public interest petition is a tool under the Constitution. And I want you all to go back after 2 days with many ideas for public interest litigation. It is very simple. Anybody can do it. Any deaf person can file a public interest litigation. It is not expensive. And it can be sometimes very quick. In the next 2 days, you will discuss many things: education, health, legal rights, transportation, sign language interpreters, reservation in employment. But let us not only discuss, let us also plan ahead for many public interest litigations. Very briefly, let me tell you 2 or 3 things. One, anybody can file a public interest litigation. A deaf person, a deaf organization, an NGO, a social worker, a lawyer, a teacher, anybody. And you have to file the case in the High Court. And it has to be against government or a government funded body. The Human Rights Law Network lawyers are here from different parts of the country. From at least 10 states they have come. And you can talk to them today and tomorrow. And they will also talk to you. So that today and tomorrow, please plan what public interest litigation you want to do in your high courts. In the afternoon session, we will ask them to stand up and introduce themselves, so that from each state you can identify them and meet with them. Let me give you some idea of what kind of cases can be done using the Constitution of India. Now you know that in many parts of the world, a deaf person can get a driving license. How many deaf people have a driving license here? Can you put your hands up? Very good. Very good. No. No license. No. Yeah. But in India, they don't give you a driving license. Today, if you saw the news today, yeah, in Tamil Nadu, yes, legally, very good. No, Bombay, no, Delhi, no.
So different in each state.
Yes, of course. Yeah. But I'm very happy to know that in Tamil Nadu you can.
Actually, in Tamil Nadu driving license they have given, but some problem is that.
Okay.
I fought the case with the RTO, that is the regional
Okay.
transport officer. I told you people are driving, normal people are driving in cars, close to shuttered or music system, etc. You people are also deaf.
Yeah.
Therefore, I told the RTO and IAS commissioner
Yeah.
almost 90% of the drivers are deaf people because all are AC cars you are driving, you cannot hear. Similarly, we allow car driving license. Therefore, we have got the driving license.
But abroad, a person can drive with a driving license. You can get an international license to drive. All that you need to do is you need to have special mirrors, and you will signal with lights, not with horn. You'll signal with your light, and you can drive. International license all over the world. And an international license given in America or Europe is valid in India. So a Britisher can come and drive in India, an American deaf person can drive in India, but an Indian cannot drive. Now that is the matter. We have taken.
Supreme Court judgment is wrong in sense.
No, there is no Supreme Court judgment. Let me explain. No, I was there in that matter. No. So we went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, first you make a representation to the government. And if the government does not listen to you, then you come back. This is very important to understand because there have been some wrong reports in the newspapers. Supreme Court only said, you first approach the government and try and convince them to give you the license. So now Arun is in fact going to have a meeting with the officials. One second. Going to have a meeting with some officials, and if they say no, then we are going back to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, he wants to tell that deaf people are provided license, but in different states, why there is different sections? It should be same. Yeah. All the states should have same rules and regulations. Yeah. Why it is different? In Tamil Nadu is different, in Ahmedabad is different. I don't understand this. It's not clear. It should be clear. It should be systematic all over the states, and RTO should be the same. And it should be clear communication to all of them. I have the license, but normal they do like corruption. If they give money, they give the license, and the police they catch, and then they say show the license. Then say, oh, deaf. Okay, let it be deaf. But deaf have problems, fine, but they cannot fight for it. License have, and then we give money. I don't want that way. I want government that all the problems should be solved.
Now, we won't go into the details of the driving license, because I want to indicate in the next 15 or 20 minutes that I have left the power of using this public interest litigation and how and where you can use this, so that when we go back we have a practical impact in our states. First, let's look at education. And can you have a situation where all the universities, all the schools, all the colleges will not have a sign language interpreter? Is it just? Equality clause, Article 14. Is it equal? Article 21, right to life. Are they treating me like a human being? What will a deaf student do? Come to a class? If he can't lip read, what will he do? That's point number one. Point number two. Teachers are required to be qualified, but they are not required to know sign language. Even in the deaf schools, can you imagine? Even in the deaf schools, they don't know sign language. In the deaf schools. This is the worst atrocity against our people. And we will go back to each high court and pull the universities to court, take the colleges to court. That discrimination against deaf people because of lack of sign language interpreters. Is Rajesh Kumar Khandelwal here? No. Because we took his interview as to how he was treated in the government school. That's one area. Now let's look at hospitals. Can you go to a hospital and get proper treatment? Suppose in Delhi you go to AIIMS, the biggest hospital here. Will anybody listen to you? Can any doctor understand you? Such a huge hospital with hundreds of doctors and thousands of patients. Will a single person, single doctor understand a deaf person who is suffering? Not able to. How will you get the symptoms from a patient? How are you feeling? How are you feeling inside? Where is it paining? How will a doctor understand? Shameful, absolutely. Look at your airports. Look at your airports. We had this case here. I remember somebody, when we had a meeting, he was sitting. So Jet Airways told him, "Sir, I'll tell you when the flight is going to take off. Flight is delayed. I'll tell you." So he's waiting. Then the Jet Airways person goes away. And then the announcement comes on the mic that flight is now ready to take off. And this poor person is sitting and waiting. Why should the announcement not be made by sign language interpreters also on the screen? Sign language interpreter can say that. Not possible. Delhi airport, Bombay airport, Calcutta airport, big airports not possible. So, railway stations, again, how many cases, we have met with our friends, how many cases? You stand in one line, they'll tell you stand in this line. Then when you stand in line and you reach, when they can't understand, they say you wait. How rudely they behave, how badly they behave. So, my dear friends, we are not going to tolerate this. We are going to fight with our fists, if necessary. Now the Chief Justice is not here, so I can say something. We'll fight with our minds, correct, and we'll go to the court and wear our band. But we will fight with our fists, as Arun Rao led us, and Javed Abidi also led us. The police and the administration must know that the deaf people are not mild people. We are not timid people. We are not shy people. We are not afraid. Let me deal with one more thing. In the judiciary, I should have actually said this when Chief Justice was here. You remember that case from Shimla? That case of, remember the gentleman's name? Anybody remembers? Stillman's case. He was caught in a narcotics case. He was totally deaf. Totally deaf. False implication. The police implicated him in a narcotics case. The whole trial went on without a sign language interpreter. Totally illegal trial. How can you try a person in a criminal case where he will get life sentence without somebody interpreting for him? He was convicted. And when the matter came to Supreme Court, I must tell you the comment made by one judge. He said, many disabled people are criminals. We know many disabled people are criminals. Shocking statement. Ultimately, the embassy intervened and he is now free. But he was sentenced to life.
हेलो सर, आई एम कमिंग फ्रॉम कलकत्ता, वेस्ट बंगाल। तो वहाँ पर कुछ होने वाला घटनाएं हम आपको बता रहे हैं। जैसे वहाँ पर जो स्कूल है वो एक ही स्कूल है कलकत्ता का, राजा बाजार का साइड में, और वो भी 8वीं तक है। उससे ज्यादा पहले तक नहीं था। अभी 1 साल पहले हम लोग नारेबाजी करके जो करना था, बहुत आंदोलन के बाद वो क्लास स्कूल फाइनल तक हुआ। एक्चुअली जो ऑर्थोपेडिकली हैंडीकैप है या विजुअली हैंडीकैप है वो दूसरा स्कूल में पढ़ भी सकते हैं, किंतु बिना इंटरप्रेटर का ऐसे साधारण बच्चों के स्कूल में डेफ एंड डम का कोई जगह नहीं है, और पढ़ना भी वो अलग हो जाते हैं, इसलिए पढ़ना भी जा नहीं चाहते। और एक समस्या है वहाँ का हॉस्पिटल का कि अगर डॉक्टर ठीक, अभी ऐसा हो गया कि तीनों डॉक्टर का एक बोर्ड बैठा दिया गया, तो वो डॉक्टर्स लोग ठीक करते हैं कि किसको हैंडीकैप कार्ड दिया जाए किसको ना। उनका पसंद नापसंद के ऊपर निर्भर करता है। मान लीजिए किसी का 30% डिसेबल्ड ना होने पर तो उसको डिसेबल्ड कार्ड मिलने पर कोई फायदा नहीं है। अब उनको अगर पसंद होगा तभी वो जाके उनको 30% से ज्यादा करेंगे, नहीं तो बहुत कोई हैंडीकैप वगैरह है जिनको ये कार्ड नहीं मिलता। और सबसे बड़ा समस्या यह है कि समाज कल्याण दफ्तर से जो 95 का रूल निकला हुआ है, जो वो दूसरा